And welcome back. It's time for the Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. And Pat, let's talk some presidential politics here. We're now less than 2 months away from the presidential election. Look into that crystal ball of yours and let's talk about what you expect during the home stretch.
Boy, I'll tell you, what a question, huh?
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Real quick on the economy. What can you say? 44 million people on food stamps, 8.7 million people now on disability, both all-time records, even proportionately. $100 billion in value of business-related credits to go to the other end of the spectrum economically, and a $1 trillion deficit for 2011, 2012. Now the national debt, 15 trillion and climbing. Unemployment, BLS statistics. These things, the reason I'm raising them, that's what's going to drive the election.
Yeah.
Either Obama's narrative, President Obama's narrative and that of Bill Clinton at their convention either persuades people or it doesn't, because the data is very daunting. But 43 months consecutive above 8%. In all of American history, from 1948 to 2008, you had a total of 39 months with unemployment above 8%. Impact of the healthcare legislation. 6 million people are projected to be paying the tax penalty. And there's still going to be 30 million people without health insurance, even after all the shifting around in Medicare, Medicaid, and the demise of some private sector insurance. That's what I think the discussion is going to be about. What does the Gallup poll and the Rasmussen polls show? Two pretty good benchmarks. Gallup very mainstream, Rasmussen more conservative in some of their analysis. Gallup has a narrow lead for the president. Rasmussen has a very narrow lead for Governor Romney. What you've got is the stage is set for a very dramatic 2 months. I'm afraid it'll be pretty negative 2 months.
Do you suspect there will be any late October surprises?
Of course, there'll probably be
Always
several,
yeah.
And they'll be on both sides. Here's what I mean by that. Anybody that thinks that there was an accident to the timing of release of the exchange Romney was having with some supporters, which he described as inartful, and I think that's a fair assessment. Anybody that thinks that's accidental in terms of its timing is delusional. On the flip side, anybody that thinks that the video showing President Obama in 1998 as a younger man saying that he supported income redistribution, that the timing of the release of that was an accident, is delusional. And there's more to come, I'm certain of it, because we all have history, and we all have times where we're relaxed and talking in front of a group of friends, and we say things not quite the way we mean to say them, perhaps, in both cases, perhaps, but we say them. Now, October surprises. I think the Hobby Lobby suit is a foreshadowing. I think that issue, the government expansion dramatically into areas traditionally left to the churches and to religious groups, is going to play out dramatically in the final months of the campaign. A friend of mine, Eric Boehm, a guy writes in Pennsylvania, made a very interesting observation that at different times we're all 1% or 47%. And he meant that not only in terms of tax burden, but also in terms of government income transfers. Now, a very important discussion could be had about the tax code. The question is whether we'll have it or not.
All right, well, that'll be another topic, probably.
Yeah.
All right, in the remaining time, let's talk about local politics, state politics. The legislature regular session about 6 months away. What's starting to percolate over there at the
Well,
Capitol?
just let me make everybody's head spin and say a whole lot. Two issues that are not even covered in the interims is water and the state's relationship with the tribes. That's going to be real important probably as soon as the next legislative session, and absolutely in the aftermath of whatever happens in the first wave of the litigation. Medicaid is the fastest growing portion of the Oklahoma state budget. There's no interim study on it, but that's going to be, because it has to be, at the top of the stack. Finally, tax cut possibility. We'll have that discussion again. Veterans homes, there's bipartisan consensus to do something about a pretty dreadful situation. Finally, education, the Capitol complex, pensions, right-sizing government. Hey, what did we get to? 9 or 10 things there.
Yeah, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, thanks. And you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a good Saturday.